Okay, so I've been to a liquor store twice. And you know what I think is crazy? They don't sell water. Dude, the first time I went, I was hanging out with some friends and they're like, yo, we're gonna go do some pre-gaming. You wanna stop by the liquor store with us? I'm like, sure, why not? Plus, I'm thinking, I'm a little thirsty, so I could just get some water. We walk in, no, there's no water, not even a drinking fountain. And I don't know why I find that so crazy. Probably because alcohol just seems such like a watery thing. I know it's completely different. It's not water, it's alcohol, you know what I mean? But like, why everybody needs water, bro. So today was my second time at an alcohol store, or a liquor store, I guess as they call it. And it was the first time that I went by myself, so it was kind of cool. I literally, I was going to get like a liter of vodka or something, because I'm making vanilla. I have some vanilla beans that I got from my cousin. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I get to make some homemade vanilla. I need some vodka for that though. So I go to this liquor store. Nay, I don't even go to this liquor store. I show up to whatever Google Maps tells me is the closest liquor store place. It's in this industrial complex back alleyway. I park in this parking lot that makes me feel like I'm an employee of a large corporation. I go in the front door. I'm like, hello? A lady answers. She's like, hello? Is somebody there? I'm like, yeah. Is this a liquor store? She's like, no. Then she asked me, oh, are you a local? And I say, yeah. And she's like, oh, just go like behind this mall. There's a liquor store right there. You'll be chilling. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I hop in my car. I start driving there. When was the last time you followed instructions that you got from a stranger? That felt kind of hype. No? I was going on a little adventure today. I ran a couple of errands. I like had to get a cashier's check for taxes, and then I had to go to the post office to mail it, and I was just driving without GPS, so that feels a little cool. Anyways, the point is, I arrive at this liquor store, I walk in, and I see the vodka basically immediately, but I have this thought of, what else am I going to be in a liquor store? Let me just take this opportunity to look at all the different alcohols. So I start wandering around the store. There are so many different types. Oh my goodness. There's also just so many kinds of bottles and labels, and I start thinking about like the people who made these, the companies that run them. You know, I'm not like a very businessy person, but I'm businessy adjacent, and so it's interesting to think about like, oh my gosh, for one of these bottles, somebody had to like invent a company, find manufacturers, they gotta like assemble all the liquids in one place, they gotta decide on their packaging, on their branding, on their marketing, and I'm just looking. And there are so many companies out there. Basically all that I've never heard before. I see some like sake from Japan. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an experience. I think maybe I was looking a little bit too much, because at one point the clerk lady comes up to me and says, have you found everything all right? I say, yeah, I found the liquor. It's just right over there. I'm just kind of like enjoying looking around. And she's like, okay, enjoy looking around. So it was a great time. I got my vodka, I put it in a mason jar with my vanilla beans, and in about a year, hopefully I'll have vanilla. I think that's roughly how long it takes. I also saw a kitten on my walk today. That was another big highlight. I haven't been walking along Cat Alley as much as I normally do. That's what I call it. It's the place on my walk where there are so many stray cats. And there was, oh my gosh, it must have been 4 months ago, some kittens got born. I think they're just stray kittens. And I remember thinking to myself, when was the last time I saw a kitten? A kitten in the wild, nonetheless. So I saw another kitten on the walk today, which was really cool. That brightened my mood a little bit. And then I continued on. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks recently. The one I'm listening to right now is called The Joy of Living. It's like a Buddhist-y type meditation book. Freaking awesome. Sick book recommendation if you're looking for any. Also, I've been reading, like a physical book as well. I don't know what it is. I'm kind of on a book kick. Every night before I go to bed, as part of my going to bed routine, I put on a red headlamp, or I guess it's a normal headlamp with the red light feature, you know, for camping and whatnot. But I do it so it's not as bright on the eyes. You know what I mean? Pro tip, use red light. The one downside, if a stranger looks in my house, they probably think there's a murderer living there, because they'll see a tiny pin of light bobbing up and down that's completely red. Maybe they're seeing red shadows of my figure crouched on my beanbag reading my book, you know? It could look a little sus, but it works very well. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I feel like maybe I shouldn't make it into like a big announcement type thing. I had my first sip of alcohol. Isn't that kind of crazy? It wasn't even the vodka that I was talking about earlier. I was just kind of brainstorming what to talk about next because I low-key ran out of the things I wanted to talk about already, and we got more speedrun. I had my first sip of alcohol maybe 6 months ago or something on a trip with some friends. And I remember my brothers, all of my brothers have never had alcohol before, and they were asking me what it tastes like. And mind you, I've had 2 sips of 2 different drinks, and that's it. But I think my opinion is a good synopsis of it. I paused for a moment, looked up at the sky, collecting my thoughts, and said, tastes like poison. Which I think is just the best definition of it, you know? You're kind of just drinking hand sanitizer. It doesn't taste good. If you're going for a good tasting alcoholic beverage, you're going for something that just masks the taste of alcohol. I still don't really get it. I mean, if you want to get drunk, like, sure, maybe I can understand that. I've had 2 sips though. That's about enough for me. It just kind of tastes like poison. I don't want to drink it. Like, same thing with soda, bro. Like, I don't want to drink soda. Give me some water. Oh my gosh, call back to the first part of the commentary. Give me some water. I got a water filter the other day. Look at me go. I'm just doing all sorts of adult stuff out here. Probably as a result of reading these like self-development, like health type books, which are my favorite genre. It probably got kickstarted by reading Why We Sleep back in 2018. But I'm a bit of a nerd for the health stuff. And I kind of realized, you know, I think I maybe have a filter for the water in my house, but it's probably a smart move to get a water filter to use on the regular. So I got that. That felt kind of cool. I've changed up my little routine of filling up my water bottle every single day. And I reactivated my little wrist monitoring thing that like tracks my heart rate. I started wearing that again, my watch little thing. So we are just kind of a little bit on a health kick, I guess. But it's kind of interesting to like see, look at the stats. You know, you can almost kind of gamify your health. One of the coolest things that I've always thought is super interesting about tracking your heart rate is you can tell when you've been sick. You can actually, I mean, it depends on like what kind of sickness, but if you're getting a cold, I know when I have a cold by looking at my heart rate before any symptoms occur. Isn't that kind of crazy? I can just see my heart rate naturally spiking up in a day. And if I see it, I'm like, what the heck? Why is my resting heart rate at like 70 or 80? Why is my average heart rate at 80 right now? It's because I'm getting sick. And then as I just recently got sick, so this is why this is apparent. Not anything crazy. I really wasn't even sure if I was sick, but just kind of a minor cold. But over the past couple of days, I've just watched as my heart rate has just gotten lower and lower. Isn't that fascinating? The human body is just kind of crazy. Man, almost every single time I make a commentary video, I feel like I have more to say, and I just run out. I've restarted 3 times because I keep running out of topics, and it's a fast speed run too. I don't even need to stall that long, but we've kind of ran out of topics. The last little topic, I guess, could be speedrunning itself. I think I've been playing well. It just feels kind of crazy. The past 3 or so sessions, I've just gotten so many sub 9-minute runs, and it feels like lots is finally clicking into place and paying off. So I'm by no means the best, but I'm currently hovering at around 50th. So just, I don't know. It feels really cool and awesome. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. I'll talk to you later. Peace.